Hello and welcome to Pokemon Sodium. I've dredged up a whole handful of interesting facts all about Gen 1 of Pokemon, so sit back and enjoy and learn. Kangaskhan is the oldest Pokemon of them all, rumoured to be aged at least 200 years old. Once born, a Kangaskhan rapidly ages until it reaches 200 years old, when it roams the Safari Zone ready to be caught by fledgling trainers. Marowak is the only Pokemon that has the possibility of having a fourth wobble of the Pokeball. All other Pokemon can make the ball wobble up to 3 times once you've thrown it, but the marvellous Marowak has a fourth wobble, a feature exclusive to this terrific Pokemon. Venusaur is renowned for being the second evolution of Bulbasaur, but did you know that this was a last-minute idea? Rumour has it that the original plan for the Bulbasaur line was for it to go Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Zapdos, which would be a real surprise for trainers, but early playtesters argued that Zapdos should be a legendary bird alongside the likes of Moltres, and so Venusaur was created as a last-minute replacement. Voltorb, the electric-type ball Pokemon, is the only electric type in the game able to naturally learn both Leech Seed and Ice Beam at level 95 and 97 respectively. Most gamers don't have a Voltorb on their team, or just go ahead and evolve it into Electrode, so I'd never know this. Not in a million years. Early during the game's production, a further 2 Pokemon were to be granted the title of Legendary Pokemon, Snorlax and Kangaskhan. A legacy of this is that Snorlax can be seen in the overworld. Just like the legendary birds and Mewtwo, you can actually see it as you walk around, but this big blimp of a creature was reduced to non-legendary status once they added a second Snorlax, making it as common as muck. I don't mean the Pokemon muck. Original design documents for the grass Pokemon Tangela possibly show it to not be covered in a tangle of vines at all, but in actual fact it's covered in a tangle of writhing maggots. Market testing proved this to be unpleasant to younger children, and so the design was adapted to be more friendly to children. But also, it's a little bit more boring, isn't it, to be covered in vines rather than maggots. An early build of the game allegedly shows a distinct difference with the one that would eventually hit the stores. Did you ever wonder why Dugtrio has 3 heads while Diglett only has 1? Originally there was to be a middle evolution called Dugduo, a middle-sized 2-headed worm. It was eventually shelved, and the idea went on to be used as a pre-evolution for Dodrio, the 2-headed beauty Doduo. This game certainly proves that 2 heads can be better than 1. Now we all know that the character in the popular cartoon is Ash, or Red as he's known in the game, but other names for the character that didn't make it to fruition were reportedly Bertie, Victor, Westlake, Hillary, Metrano, Gypsy, Squelch and Martin Boy. The name that was finally picked for the character though for the cartoon was Ash, and for the game they named him Red. If you take a close look at some of the Pokemon, you might notice that they're carrying strange and unique items. Farfetch'd is carrying a stick of leek, Kadabra is carrying a spoon, and Mr. Mime clearly carries a small mirror. But did you know that originally one of the Pokemon was to carry a dangerous looking sword? That's right, Ninetales was originally going to carry a sword, as well as having 9 physical tails coming out of his bottom. But the original idea was dropped after the developers decided it would be easier to design the Pokemon not holding the sword. Luckily, this idea was revisited in Generation 8 for Zacian. Thanks for discovering these fascinating facts all about Pokemon Gen 1. I hope you've learned a thing or two that you didn't even know beforehand.
Thank you ever so much for watching my very good video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Very Good channel and come back next week for another very good video. A video to watch. Now, it's a good video.